Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining us today. Today is election day. This is the day you've been waiting for. Blake, did you ever think it was going to be here?
Yeah, it's weird. It's already here already. It's been a long year and we've been waiting for this. So let's see how it goes, but looking forward.
Yeah, we are in for a treat, everybody. We're going to find out what it's going to be like. Remember the old elections back in the day when you used to get the election results on the night of the event? I don't know. Let's go back. Let's make America great again when you used to be able to do that. We shall see how it'll turn out. Thanks for finding us here on the Agree to Disagree show. My name is Brian Engelman. That is Blake Walley. And we are going to talk about all of the things. But first off, question of the day. It's a three-parter. Who did you vote for? Who do you think will win? Who do you hope will win? So it's a three-parter. Who'd you vote for? Who do you think will win? Who do you hope will win? That is our question of the day. So type it in the comments. If you're watching on Facebook, reminder, go over to this page. Actually, let me bypass the access the. What is happening? What is that? Blake, where'd you go? What is this? Google Chrome to record your screen and system audio.
I don't know where you're at, Brian. Okay.
What in the world is that? Hang on. Wow. Sorry, guys. I'm like frozen by some screen here. What does this mean? Allow for 1 month. Open system settings. What in the world is happening?
Are you unable to continue? I still have access to the studio here, Brian. So.
I got it. I had to close out of that screen and kind of like refresh it. All right, here's what I was trying to tell you guys. Bounce over here onto X. This is our favorite platform along with Rumble. We are at American_media_ for the New American Media. That's at American_media_. If you scroll down, you will see our live feed right there. Here's our Patreon pinned page if anybody wanted to support independent journalism. We appreciate you. But right here, this is our live screen of the live stream. So switch over from Facebook because your comments jump right over here into the studio and we can kind of get a feel for what you're saying. We try to read these in real time and pull up some of the good ones and keep the show flowing because your interaction makes the Agree to Disagree show so much fun. Dreamer saying, hello, Blake and Brian. What up, Dreamer? Pied Piper saying he voted for Trump. He thinks he will win, barring any shenanigans, and he, of course, hopes he will win. Okay, so the topics we are going to discuss on today's program, of course, that is our question of the day. Who'd you vote for? Who do you think will win? Who do you hope will win? Also, Joe Rogan's Trump endorsement. Is it too little, too late? Elon Musk, agree or disagree that he's risking everything by teaming up with Trump? Agree or disagree that Republicans are doing a good job of fighting voter fraud in 2024? And how about this one here? This could be like a double question of the day. Have you lost respect for someone because of their vote preference? Have you lost respect for someone based on their vote preference? We're going to talk about all these, so leave your comments, and we look forward to today's program. It's finally here, guys. Election. We've done all the work we could possibly do. Let's freaking go. All right, man, it's so good to be here, Blake. It's so good to be here. Dreamer saying he voted on our poll on X. Spoiler alert, yes, he has lost respect for people due to their terrible voting record and or Trump derangement syndrome. Let's start with that one. This is, maybe not ripped from the headlines or something. Here, I'm going to pull up this Gateway Pundit article and I'm going to reference Jim Stevens' article. But Blake, what do you say about this? Would you agree or disagree that you've lost respect for someone based on their vote preference? Agree or disagree?
Yeah, I guess that would be true to some extent. I get, a lot of people that I know that are voting for Kamala. And the one thing I've been trying to say is like, do you actually like her and her policies, or are you just voting against Trump? I have not heard a single answer yet about that. So yes, I'm very disappointed in a lot of friends, family, coworkers I've known over the years, people who I think are, smart, reasonable people who just have nothing to say. It's like they're just completely programmed, brainwashed by the corporate press. And I don't understand. There's no logic there. There's no substance behind their decisions. They just hate Trump because the media basically told them to, and there's nothing there. So yeah, that'd be bad. They're going to vote against their own best interests and destroy the country just because of why? Because 2016, 2020 was that bad? No, it probably wasn't. But the corporate media told you it was bad, and you just are unable to stand on your own, I guess, or you just lack the knowledge or confidence in your decisions, and that's it is sad. So that's what I'll say. Yes, I have lost respect for some people.
Yeah, it's been very challenging for me because I do what I do. I stay in my lane. And my lane is whatever. I engage in a lot of mostly civil conversation across social media platforms. I mainly keep most of my stuff mostly to myself, compartmentalized inside of the Agree to Disagree show, the New American Media, in these consolidated brands. I try not to let me spill into too much of the rest of the stuff. But that hasn't been the case lately. I recognize that we've entered a very strange place, and I don't want to stay silent. I really have to speak a little bit more. In fact, let me say this. This is an interesting part. I've never, and I'm one of the most political people you will meet. I care deeply about the current events of the day. I've never had a political sign in my front yard ever. I was tossing something into a dumpster, moved the sliding door and tossed the bag in. And somebody, probably a deranged lunatic from the left with Trump derangement syndrome, had apparently ripped out a Trump yard sign and thrown it in the trash. And I said, "Excuse me, Joe Biden, you're calling me trash? Let me take a piece of trash and put it in the middle of my GD front yard." There has been a point that has been reached and crossed and completely blown past, Blake. The self-respect, the tolerance from the other side, the camaraderie, the brotherhood, acting as if you're neighbors and friends and family, humans of the same race, the same species even. The hate that's been coming from that side has been so strong. It's caused a lot of people to rethink who they're surrounding themselves with and who they're allowing themselves to be brainwashed with. Because I think there are a lot of good people with good intentions that believe things that just are not even remotely true. Blake, let me ask you that question. What's up, Amber? On that point, how many of these people that are on the other side do you think is mostly a product of getting bad information through lying legacy media that maybe boomer generations are still believing versus being truly malevolent? Because I'm having a hard time separating how they could see something so incorrectly based on the same information. But I just wonder how much of that information are they getting? And are they getting all of this bad brainwashing? Is that mainly the root of the problem? I'm trying to splice this out here.
Yeah, I guess it's that peer pressure and just with their own people, and they're afraid to go against like what their friends and their tribe are going to go along with, so they don't have the courage to stand out on their own. Most of them probably don't get a lot of good information. They get it from completely biased sources. They always race to that side for everything. If it's like a MAGA person or a Trump person were to present a point and say, what do you think of that? They're automatically going to go to their comfort zone and try to find something that can confirmation bias, and they can go back to their opinion. So no, I don't think they're necessarily bad people. I think they mean well. They're foolishly let off the cliff. And I'd like to reach all those people. I try to talk to them, but a lot of them they don't want to be reached. They form their conclusion, and it's sad that they just have embraced the legacy media, even though they've been caught so many times lying, especially in the last 10 years. I don't know how you take them seriously. You don't have to take my word for it, but I mean, the fact that you're still believing corporate media after all the hoaxes, I find that problematic. And I'm sad that there's just a lack of critical thinking going on to something that this is important of a decision. And it's sad that they don't seem to want to care about the actual policies that they're voting for. That's the other thing that is incredibly disturbing.
Yeah,
So
it really is.
That's a problem. Yeah.
I would say this is just, I saw this and I put this out on Instagram. Look, you don't have to like Trump. Blake, you did a good video, like vote for Trump, even if you don't like him, or especially if you don't like him, whatever it was called. But look, we just had this daylight savings time. Don't forget to turn your clocks back to 2% interest rates and $1.80 gas on Tuesday. What are we doing? You don't have to. We're hiring a boss to make our dollar stretch further, to kind of get us out of pointless, costly foreign wars, to spend our money on infrastructure for Americans. This is not a complicated decision when you see what's going on with so many people across this country. It's pretty straightforward. Amber was saying never put a sign in her yard either. Too many crazies out here. And with a little one in her home, can't trust people anymore to act with common sense. Let me pull this up because I saw this. And this is kind of about the lawn signs. People who actually, let me get out of the full screen. People have been getting postcards, and it's for those who. There we go. Share this tab instead. People have been getting postcards, Blake, and it's people who have Kamala Harris signs in their front yard, and it says, "Oh, thank you so much for supporting our agenda. Great news. We're going to need a little bit more of your support. We have some illegals coming over, undocumented. They need a place to stay. Can they stay in your house? Can they sleep on the floor? Can they? Well, let me just play this video real quick.
Because that was making headlines yesterday. No, it's great to play, and it'd be interesting to see if Kamala people will actually, deal with the consequences of their own, the policies that they're voting for.
Yeah.
So you would do anything for like all the illegals and stuff?
I think we have to be fair.
Guys, this is great. I think we found a new home for you guys.
What guys?
There you go.
Be fair.
Yeah.
I don't understand what this is all about.
The immigration. They're gonna move into your house.
They are not.
What do you mean?
They're coming to your house. They are not.
They're gonna move into your house.
They are not.
What do you mean? You just said you wanted to support everyone though.
Okay, that I don't.
No, they're
Guys,
not
we
violent.
got a
They're
new
not
house.
violent. They're good. They're
Oh no,
like
hop it! Just like you guys did before.
Thank you very much.
Can they stay for dinner? Wait.
Sorry.
Well, we have your signature. You guys got to drive back down south.
Back to Home Depot.
I mean, Blake, this is just one. There's actually several of these, and they're pretty hilarious. I mean, are you surprised to see this massive hypocrisy from the people that vote for policies that they don't want to impact them? They just want it to be someone else's problem, but they're never willing to say, yeah, okay, let me check a box here. I would love to pay the difference in taxes that it would cost me to support X number of families for X amount of time.
Yeah, no, that's why that clip it's like a 10-minute clip, and there's like a few minutes of that. And it's absolutely genius. Yeah, to go through, find people that have supporting Kamala signs in their yard and ask them. So do they actually support their own policies? Are they even aware of their policy? So do they know that there's a massive crisis at the border and they're letting in tens of millions of illegals? We don't even know the exact numbers. So yeah, no, I think it's hilarious, and they've been trolling the left for a long time. I mean, I know Ron DeSantis and Greg Abbott of Texas. They also did a lot of this, shipping illegals up to these like Martha's Vineyard, and then just show, yeah, these people think it's so great. Oh, these racist Republicans are so afraid of the illegal immigrants. Well, where are we going to put them? Oh, is that okay that we support them? We incentivize them. We give them benefits. Do you want them to live in your house? Oh, no. So it's, they were absolutely busted in their hypocrisy, and it was glorious to see.
And here's another clip here. First off, Dreamer saying he's also seen so many Trump van signs removed, destroyed, or just gone in his local area the last 3 weeks or so. Sick people. Pied Piper saying they may be brainwashed, and I always try to lead the horse to water. I know I've tried more this year, shooting random messages out to people, just saying, hey, can you come out and vote Trump? Some people have not responded. Some people have. I can't say I have a great batting average, but I am actually having more of these conversations with humans that I know. Pied Piper saying he thinks part of the problem is the one issue voters. He has family members that only vote on the damned abortion issue and don't take anything else into consideration.
There's a lot of that. A lot of the women that went out and did early voting, and even people I know, that was literally the only thing that they voted on.
Well, that's what the Republicans get for pushing this so hard. The country doesn't want it. Try to, it should be, what did they used to say, Blake? Safe, rare, and something.
Yeah, they fumbled this issue multiple times. It should have been easy, common sense, and it could have saved a lot of pain. But I don't think they did a very good job of communicating their point. They kind of backed themselves off of the Project 2025 or the religious fundamentalism, but there should be like a common sense thing that we can all agree on.
Yeah, Dreamer saying one issue voters, yes, big problem. It's easier to brainwash someone if you only have to manipulate someone over one issue. Great point. And Pied Piper saying, personally, I would rather have reasonably priced groceries and gas instead of an abortion anytime I want. The one issue stuff is kind of wild when you consider what these guys are doing here. Let me go to this video. Here's another clip.
I dressed up like I work for Kamala's campaign, and now I'm gonna deliver immigrants to her supporters.
No.
We are voting for you, don't worry.
Are you? We do have a surprise, if that's okay, just real fast.
You have a surprise?
We're looking for a place for them to stay. They just came across. They'll sleep on floors. I mean, they're not picky,
We have like a 2-year-old, so
Hector's good with kids.
sorry, we just can't.
Could they just like sleep on your lawn?
They need a place to stay. They just came across.
My teenagers live with me.
Oh, that's fine. Hector, he was dating a teenager like a little bit ago, so
Okay.
they just came across. They don't have papers. They're in support of like the whole border situation, and we're just trying to get them a floor to sleep on. Do you guys want COVID? They said they could survive it.
We work with her, so we know how to say her name.
Earlier you said Kamala. The way she pronounces her name is Kamala. You don't work with her either.
See that car? We have 3 dudes who just came across the border. We're trying to find them a home.
Find them a home.
Just say I'm voting for Donald Trump without saying it, okay?
That's a wrong attitude, mister. I said my vote is private.
So you're voting Kamala?
No. You said it again.
Blake, it's one of the funniest things I've seen in a long time. What do you just?
No, they nailed that one. Yeah, for sure. So I got to show the hypocrisy of the left, and maybe that'll, dig through. It'll reach, but I don't know if they're going to watch that, and then they'll just find some other thing to screech about.
Yeah, that is
the confirmation bias. They just keep going to their trusted sources, even though they're being misled by them.
Yeah. Pied Piper saying, I always love when the left's hypocrisy is pointed out. Yes, agreed. It's always pretty glorious. Okay, let's move off of this and talk about, here, let's do a stinger. Yes, we produce our own show. If you haven't picked up on that yet, make sure you leave your comments. If you're watching on Facebook, jump over to @American_media_. That is our X feed. Follow Blake. He's at TV's Blake Walley, and check out his archive at thenextlevelnews.com. Blake, tell people really quick about the project that you completed recently about the North Carolina trip, and tell people about the live stream that we're going to be a part of this evening.
Okay. Well, we just finished. I don't know, Brian, you got the new watermarked version that I sent you the other day?
Oh, I need to upload it. I didn't notice it came through. I need to check it. Yes.
Should I start sending you things to a different email address? I'm not sure. It's all good, but it's not that it's an emergency to put out. Yes, but we did a documentary. We did visit North Carolina recently on a guided tour with our friend Grizzly, and he showed us the devastation and the new supply lines that they were putting together. It's about a half an hour mini doc, and you guys should, please go check that out. Keep that information alive in the news cycle, because those people are going to need help, especially now as we get into the colder months. So don't forget about the people who were devastated by Hurricane Helene.
Also, the thing that they need is generators right now. So there are 2 links at the end of that documentary to help Fabled, what's it called? Fabled Creations or something? Fabled Remedies?
Yeah, that sounds right. Fabled Remedies.
But there's 2 links there. If you guys can donate, we had some people very graciously donate many hundreds of dollars that went directly to Grizzly. Thank you all. We put you in the credits. And so if anyone else can help, I mean, it's like a wedding registry, 50 here, 100 there, 200 here, 250 there, 350 there. They need to get some generators to stay warm. It is danger zone time. We've entered November, folks. So this is what we need to work on. Check out the documentary and check out that link at the end. Also, tell people about the show tonight. By the way, special thanks to this guy for all his great editing skills. If you guys have a bunch of footage and you want to turn it into something, and you know just how many hours that involves, this guy's for hire, and he's good.
I'm a self-taught professional. Well, not really, but I can kind of get a job done and probably do it cheaper than most, but at some cost. So anyway, I'm able to complete some of these projects. So let me know.
Excellent.
Alrighty. And yes, tonight there is going to be a special live show. I don't know how it's probably going to be a marathon show. I think I got a link on it recently. So we're going to be going live for Toxically Masculine Tuesday with Mike Barra and Dr. Brooks Agnew, Trail Boss, Steve Doran, and of course, Brian Engelman and myself. I guess we're starting at 7 p.m. Eastern. I think we're just going to be taking turns going in and out, just waiting for the results to pop in. So I don't know if all of us are going to be literally 5 of us on camera for 4 hours or however long this is going to take, because I don't think that we're going to get all the results in.
Or we will. Or
we might. Hopefully it will be. Hopefully they'll just call it all and it'll be great. It'll be a landslide and we'll all get drunk and have fun. Well, we're going to get drunk and have fun, but so it's going to be a long show. It starts at 7 Eastern and goes till whenever. So I'll have to try to pace myself because I'll be drinking some whiskey.
Fair point. Here's another question of the day. What do you intend to do this evening? If you can, seriously, if you can go to YouTube, the New American Media, or on X at American_media_, the live feed to this election night special. So you guys can jump in, jump out, type your comments. We want to have feedback and interact with you. Get your thoughts, your takes. Hey, did you check this out? If we're all going to be gathered somewhere watching this, let's be connected to each other. That's what the New American Media is. I don't want the old American media just showing me what their CIA actors and actresses. Here's the message. We're going to keep delivering. So join us as we stream live and cover this and incorporate your comments. Kahana, greetings from Magazona, voted red up and down. Where is Magazona? That's Arizona. What part of Arizona, Magazona? Arizona, is that going to go? Blake, let me get some guesses here. Is Arizona going Kerry Lake? Are they going to get the rest of are they going to seize their state back? Or are they in trouble over there?
Yeah, I don't trust. That's one of the last places I would trust in this election is Maricopa County. So I thank you for voting, doing your part. Everybody can, but I don't. Yeah, there's something weird. They have their own kind of sets of rules down there, and it was just been a shit show the last couple times they've run their election. And Carrie Lake was expected to win big last time, and miracle she didn't. A lot of people have pointed out, yeah, they had a lot of issues with on voting day, so it's good that a lot of people are going earlier this time, just in case, so they don't screw everybody at the end. Oh, sorry, the ballots were the wrong size, or we had the wrong ink. Sorry, guys, you're gonna have to wait in line for a few more hours. They pulled all the kinds of dirty tricks, and then they just no chain of custody, and Maricopa's got some weird thing where they run the ballots through this other center. It's like called Runbeck. Like, there's just no reason to take anything seriously. They had a lot of issues. They did the audit, but it never got fully completed. Never saw all the the computer machinery. I guess they found a lot of ballots that didn't have matching signatures. There's all kinds of problems. So I don't trust Maricopa at all. So hopefully Trump won't need them. In 2020, I mean, Nancy Pelosi. Arizona had so many issues that on January 6th, Nancy Pelosi was getting ready to concede Arizona and an alternate set of electors, but then that got washed out. And then we had the BS from 2020 or 2020. With Katie Hobbs.
What you just said about it getting washed out. Can you elaborate, like expand on that just a little, like fully define how Pelosi in Arizona in 2020? Can you explain that a little bit?
Well, they had alternate sets of electors on January 6th that could have gone either way, I guess, for Trump or for Biden, because people were challenging that whether some of these states, whether we should take some of these swing states that stopped counting in the middle of the night, and then magically they all went for Biden on the next morning. And so they had alternate sets of electors that were there in DC, but then all of a sudden, shit went haywire because they didn't allow the National Guard to be there. And then they let people into the building, some shit got out of control, and then the media ran with this whole insurrection narrative. But no, it could have gone very much differently depending on how things shook out. And at least in this timeline, it didn't go so well. And there's still people in jail without charges, as far as I know.
There are so many things at stake in this election. For it to be, and to all the ladies, there are very few people that are really pushing hardcore to block your access under reasonable circumstances. Who defines reasonable? I think we used to have a definition for reasonable, and it's been completely erased. Think of that. Kahana saying Maricopa is corrupt. Adam over here on Facebook. If you're watching on Facebook, swing over to the New American Media on YouTube, and we can read your comments in real time. He says, we are in trouble. Adam has been on the show before, and he says, we are in trouble. He's an Arizonian, I think.
I think it's Arizonian. Yeah, I don't know. I did live there for the better part of a year, but not.
What are you now? You're a Tennessean? Is Tenna believing?
Yeah, I think it's Tennessean, right? Yeah.
Tennessean is Tenna believing. You've seen that like bumper sticker?
No, maybe not.
What? It's one of the best. Tennessean is Tenna believing. All right.
James, do that in Kentucky or something.
James, who did visit in Kentucky and actually brought an awesome bottle of like a blue bottle of Patriot gin. That was pretty cool. James is saying Trump Vance to save America. What was the brand on that gin, James? What was the brand on that gin? Keith has got really high hopes here, saying, I think things are looking good for MAGA. So, good. Let's talk about this. Agree or disagree that Joe Rogan's endorsement, Blake, was that too little too late? Recently, Joe Rogan had an open invitation for both Kamala and for President Trump. Trump dropped what he was doing to go on the #1 show that you could go on. Kamala decided she wanted to make it complicated. She decided Joe needed to do his show differently and go to her. He left it open and said, look, I'm here all of these days. Come in, we'll do the show. It won't be gotcha. I just want to talk to you for 3 hours straight and see what people think. And Kamala did not accept the terms. And you've had Joe Rogan now have Donald Trump, then JD Vance, both for 3 hours. 3 hour sit downs with these guys. That is an epic marathon. Then Elon Musk was on yesterday or the day before, I believe. And when Rogan sent the message out with the show link, he was very, he finally got off of the fence and picked a side, Blake. I've been very critical of Joe Rogan. You know this. I've been very critical of Joe Rogan for probably a decade.
Because one time that Brian met him in real life and Brian got slighted, Joe Rogan didn't say, hey, man, what's up? I'm Joe Rogan. You're Brian Engelman. Hey, let's exchange numbers. Hey, come into my van. Let's smoke a blunt. No, Brian didn't get the red carpet treatment from Joe Rogan. So he's, you don't like Joe.
No. This has been specifically about, you have RFK Jr., Nicole Shanahan, Tulsi Gabbard, Vivek Ramaswamy, Elon Musk, everybody that Joe Rogan respects has jumped on Team MAGA, and Joe was silent. Couldn't he have just endorsed Trump months ago to get a massive groundswell reaching through the audience? Why did it take the day before the election for him to finally pick a side? I mean, there have been legitimate criticisms by a lot of people.
I mean, I don't know. I guess a lot of people were critical about that. I don't know. I don't know why people are so worried about getting, the celebrity endorsements or what have you. So I think he was cool that he was kind of staying out of it and just went for RFK. And then clearly, if you want to vote for RFK, you got to vote for Trump. Now we got all the people that are, you got this awesome team going on with JD Vance or Vivek or Tulsi. So he's got the amazing group and Elon Musk. I mean, how could you vote against that? I did have a friend of mine expressing some concern. I guess Mike Pompeo was at a rally the other day. And he was just saying, warning, what do you think about having Mike Pompeo back in the administration? Fuck no. We can't have any of these swamp creatures. But I think this time around, he's got some good people. Last time in 2016, Trump tried to appease the neocons by making deals and getting, Mike Pence or Reince Priebus or a lot of these neocon type people around him who ended up just betraying him, undermining him, destroying his administration from within, putting the handcuffs on him. So, we don't want these people back. Certainly not a Mike Pompeo, who was a corrupt CIA director.
Yeah. Let's kind of highlight some of the Rogan stuff. Rogan's hand at a UFC event. I don't know. Actually, there's actually something pretty interesting, Blake, because when I always watch these things, I'm not just watching them and listening to them. I'm looking for body language and stuff. See, he does that pull-in maneuver. He always, it's a power move to bring someone off of their positioning and bring you into their world. I think I heard Rogan talk about this, that he knows that move, so he was really anchored in, making sure that he wasn't going to be pulled in another direction. I mean, he's very, we're playing tug of war almost. You can see a game of tug of war, which I just find interesting. But yeah, this right here was Joe Rogan's post. The great and powerful Elon Musk. He was his guest yesterday, I believe. And says, if it wasn't for Elon, we'd be fucked. He makes what I think is the most compelling case for Trump that you'll hear, and I agree with him every step of the way. For the record, yes. That's an endorsement of Trump. Enjoy the podcast. Blake, I do love how direct and to the point that was. It doesn't get much better than that, right?
Yeah, no, it's awesome. And, the Kamala and the Democrats can complain all they want, but they had the opportunity. Joe would have been happy to have any of them on there, but then they made their demands unreasonable. And it was also to cover up for a candidate who's not very good on her feet. She's not going to do well in a position like that. She's just not a normal, chill person. And for all the stuff they tried to say that, JD Vance was weird, no, he was actually pretty awesome. So they all did great performances. And that's what we all wanted to see. And it's no surprise that, they got the endorsement. If that counts for anything, I guess we'll take anything where we can get it. Because that's certainly the only thing that the left is trying to do is trying to get, Cardi B, or saw Harrison Ford, which was sad, or a lot of actors I like, or Michael Keaton. And then they got both Richard Gere and
Will
Julia
Ferrell,
Roberts. I mean, just
LeBron James. It's just it is sad. They feel like hostage videos. They really do. It's like, oh, you went to Epstein Island. Oh, you went to Diddy's party. Read the script, bitch. Read the script.
100% of those people, as far as I know, are on one list or the other, or both. It doesn't make any. Yeah, I mean, it seems pretty obvious why they're doing these endorsements.
Pied Piper saying, I think JD and Trump gained more by going on the podcast than the endorsement. Great point. Just the chance. That is, Blake, respond to that. That is so well said. I think Trump and JD gained more by going on the podcast and being listened to for 6 hours. When you really get to unpack it instead of just sound bites and misrepresentations, mischaracterizations, RuPaRs, hoaxes, what they're used to consuming about the other side. If you just get to listen to them, they win you over. They win you over with common sense, right?
Yeah, that's 100%. That's a great comment. People get to hear them from themselves without being filtered through the corporate press, who constantly misrepresents them and slanders them. Their news coverage of them, it's they've already proven it's something like 89% negative. It's insane.
By the way, let me answer the question. No, it's not too little, too late. I'll disagree with that sentiment. It's just you just wonder if he could have been pounding on the campaign trail a little bit and kind of having this as a highlight for the past couple months instead of the past week. That might have been able to move the needle a little bit. But here is Trump in his own words discussing what has occurred and what it means.
And it just came over the wires that Joe Rogan just endorsed me. Is that right? Thank you, Joe.
Thank you, Joe.
That's so nice.
And you're listening to Horse Trump, who's doing like 4 events a night now.
He doesn't do that. He doesn't do that. So.
That's true. Joe Rogan does not normally do that. He doesn't make a big point of making endorsements at all. He goes out of his way to avoid it, actually.
And he tends to be a little bit more liberal than some of the people in this room. No, I had a lot of fun, and he was amazing. And it was a 3-hour interview. In fact, I was 2 hours late for a rally that we had. I had explained that a little bit. It was cold out that night. We flew, but we had to make it. We were more than 2 hours late, and they understood. I said, I just was interviewed by a very interesting guy, and he just kept going on. They called it a long form, and it could have gone a lot longer, but he was great. And he's not a person that does endorsements, but he did an endorsement. So I just want to thank Joe Rogan. That's fantastic.
That really is neat. I think it's a sign of the times, Blake. Remember 4 years ago during this election, there were not a lot of people supporting Donald Trump openly. It was an all-out onslaught against anything MAGA, COVID hysteria, just lockdownerism and just censorship without X being owned by Elon. It was a totally different world. You can feel the pendulum has shifted. Can you not? Can you feel it too?
Yeah, I believe so. We'll just have to see. I don't know about the results. That's my main issue, is not that I think Trump absolutely wins if this is all transparent and fair. But this could drag out. There could be some shenanigans, and it could take a bit to untangle. I hope not, because it's been a rough 4 years. I don't want to have to see a repeat of that, and I don't want to accept anything that isn't clear and conclusive.
Agreed. All right, let's pivot on to another topic here about Elon Musk. The question to agree or disagree with, by the way, if you're watching on Facebook, please bounce over to @American_media_. Hello, Kenneth and Tony and Adam and everyone. Oh, yep, and everyone over there. Thank you. Blake, agree or disagree that Elon is risking everything by teaming with Trump? I mean, with the X platform and everything else going on, Elon is 100% all in on this right now. Do you feel as though he's risking everything by teaming with Trump?
Yes, he absolutely is. And he's even warned about that just this recently. He said, vote like your life depends on it, because it does. He said that on the Rogan show. And we have already seen Rachel Maddow gloating about how if, Kamala wins, they're basically going to, all these government contracts that with Elon are going to be null and void, because they're going to see him as this, partisan threat, and they're going to destroy his businesses, his livelihood, and they might even come after Twitter. Yeah, he is risking everything, and he put quite a lot of money and effort into obtaining Twitter so that people could have a voice and a level playing field on this social media platform. And so, yes, he has already put himself on the line. And yeah, the left is going to come and they're going to get their revenge on him if they are going to win. So this is a very high stakes election.
It really is. And let's not forget, they're going to arrest it. They're going to kidnap, throw Trump in a cage and Epstein him. If you let them win, they're going to Epstein Trump. Like let's have zero ambiguity about what's happening here. The overthrow attempt in this country. Why I think the adults in the room are changing things. Pied Piper saying all the Diddy party participants seem to support Kamala. And if Trump loses, the deep state will throw everything they have at Elon. Of course, Rick Norman. What's up, Rick? Just getting here. Thank you for joining us. Continuing, no way we can take 4 more years. No way. If the left wins, Trump will be in prison. He'll have to leave the country. Or DeSantis will have to give him safe quarter as a political prisoner in the great state of Florida. I mean, you might start to see the country pulling itself apart. Florida protecting itself from New York and DC, and rivalry. Like, you could see this country splinter to pieces because it's that dire. These are gangsters doing gangster shit. This is not how you run a country. This is a really bad way to run things. There's a nice, simple, straightforward way where everybody can have an equal opportunity to make something of themselves in this world.
Yeah, no, I would agree with that. Yes. I had to changing my light seems a little bit bright. So
okay, well, fix your light. Let me play this ad that Elon Musk put out there. There's a
quick note. Yes, if this is won by Kamala, you could be seeing a national divorce. You could be seeing a potential civil war. Let's hope for the national divorce. We're going to have to find some way to coexist with each other. And there's no way that MAGA should be accepting the results of a very contentious election where if they're not being clear on how the results were cast. So, yes, this is a dangerous thing. And so we can't be like, oh, well, Mark Elias is just doing a million lawsuits all over and they're trying to help these disenfranchised people and they're not looking at signatures and any number of different things. But, hey, it's the most safe and secure election ever. So now you got to accept the results. And now we're in charge. Like, no, fuck off. Like, it has to be a transparent thing. Did they actually win cleanly or not? And the fact that they can't just be obvious about this means that they're hiding something, but we'll see what happens. So,
I mean, it looks like Colorado might have disqualified itself by putting all of their computer code out there. Colorado might have disqualified itself. Pennsylvania might have disqualified itself. Georgia might have disqualified itself. Arizona might have disqualified itself. Wisconsin might have disqualified itself. These are the same swing states. They're not swing states. These are fraud states. If you're pulling all these shenanigans, your vote cannot count. What are we doing here? What are we doing? We saw what happened last time. It's the same cast of characters again. Really? The only hope is that we catch it. Our only hope is that we catch it. And there's a lot of people on the ground putting time in. But Elon put this video out, Blake. I just wanted to share this. Once again, talking about Elon risking it all. Have you seen this video by chance?
Maybe. I think I heard about it last night. So go
right.
ahead and run it. I believe it's got some references, interesting references. Okay.
So we'll let it go. Maybe yell at me to pause it or whatever. Or I'll just we'll
put on notice. If you fuck around with us, if you do something bad to us, we.
Oh man, hold on.
Oh, you're playing it. Oh, it's Van Halen. Copyright strike. Remove it. Block the video.
Okay. On it.
Trying to steal money from Eddie Van Halen.
So I had to. Oh, doggone it. I kind of had this queued up, but because of the music.
Did you've it queued up, huh?
Yeah, there's something that happens 20 it doesn't even have
17 seconds. No.
Actually, hang on. 17 seconds. Let me see if captions work. If I click it. Oh, there you go. We can read it. I'll read it.
Yeah.
So this is Donald Trump. Put you on notice. If you fuck around with us, if you do something bad to us, we are going to do things that have never been done before. The forgotten men and women of our country will be forgotten no longer. That's a happy Trump, NASCAR Trump, Baywatch Trump. 2024 is our final battle. They sold out our jobs and plundered the wealth. Americana. The future does not belong to the globalists. The future belongs to patriots. Activation word, Ronald McDonald. All right. So what the hell was that part, Blake? Patriots here.
Patriots, except it's a Q instead of an O. So yeah, there was a liberal snowflake meltdown yesterday. Oh my God, Elon's peddling conspiracy theories about QAnon. So it's pretty lame. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's funny, just a little part of the clip. And, who knows? We haven't completely unraveled all of that stuff. So we don't know what the truth is. We'll see if they come out in the end as with some of their predictions true on different deltas or whatnot. Or it could be just a complete hoax. I don't care. I just want Trump to win.
Let's wrap this video up. We will drive out the globalists. All patriot go. We'll cast out communism. America will start winning again. Winning like never before. We'll bring back our jobs. Bring back our borders. And we'll bring back our dreams. There you go. Man, I'm glad I had a throat lozenge in. Yeah. I do the Trump that gets kind of clamped right in the throat. Trying to work in the sniff. They call it the big schnoz. Yeah. All right. Rick is prepared to be up till sunup. That rhymes. That's good.
Let's hope. I was up late last time. I was in Maricopa County in Sedona, Arizona, ground zero when all the shit was going down. But we had to just eventually just go to sleep. It was like, really? We're going to have to wait till tomorrow? And you just knew something was wrong. And then they called Arizona way too early. Like, fix was in. Something was happening. Because that was supposed to be just an epic landslide.
Yeah.
Yeah, re-election, no problem. Everybody knew it until election night. Then it was like, what? Yeah, it was just constantly like issues. And then we had never had the mail-in balloting, and then all of a sudden they stopped counting. Oh, I'll wait till tomorrow. And all of a sudden huge spikes, just like that picture right there. And it was like, this can't be right. But no, it was the most secure and safe election ever. Oh, you think you disagree? No, you're taken down off your channel. So it was insane. So they cannot be allowed to get away with any BS tonight. No more shenanigans. We can't afford it. The country cannot.
Correct. The country cannot afford it. Blake is frozen a little bit. Here's a reminder from our Instagram channel, The New American Media. Vote no to an Obama fourth term. Please vote no to an Obama fourth term. interesting. This came out just a couple days ago. When you're going out to vote, and please make sure you go vote, the United States to send an additional $425 million to Ukraine. Link Lauren. Link is a good account, Blake. Do you know Link? Do you follow him?
Nope.
You should follow him. Link Lauren. It's Link Lauren on X. Saying North Carolina could use that money right about now. I agree. Trump with an AI thing saying deport the media, but yeah, wouldn't that be great? Raise your hand if you believe absolutely nothing the government and mainstream media tell you. Raise your hand a little higher. Here you go. This is activated Trump. What do you think of this one, Blake? What do you call that? Mega Trump? What is that?
Mega MAGA. I'd be curious if everything was completely transparent and everybody 100% agreed on the results. It was all audited. There was no way to mess around. I think Trump would probably win at least 45 states. There's some that I think are just hopelessly forget it, but that would be fine. So that would be cool. A clean sweep. Wouldn't that be something?
I'm feeling it in my bones. Yeah. So anyway, just make sure you're following us on Instagram. Yeah, when Joe Biden calls Trump supporters garbage, 100 million Americans are like, all right, I'm your Huckleberry. You know, and by the way, here's a good reminder. Your groceries aren't becoming more expensive. Your money is becoming less valuable. Your supermarket is not the problem. Your central bank is. So, you know, just realize that Donald Trump has people like, comment on this, Blake. Ron Paul jumping in. Elon called it out, and Ron Paul responded like, all right, I'd be willing to work with you on that, about cutting the size and scope of the federal government. He's like, la fuera, afuera, cut it all. Can you believe Ron Paul has now joined the MAGA movement?
No, that's spectacular. That's another reason you can't vote against this team. And I mean, the libertarian, I mean, there's still people that are going to go, I'm going to vote for Chase Oliver. Like, really? You're going to vote now against with RFK and Tulsi and Elon and now Ron Paul. So, I mean, there's only one solution here. It's so obvious. It's the easiest layup on the world. Just vote for Trump, and you can vote for Ron Paul and Elon and RFK and the whole team. They all come with it's a package deal. And
Blake, I know
already conceded he's going to have free Ross as well. I mean, he's conceded he's going to put libertarians in his cabinet. He's got Vivek even. I mean, I can't. Please tell me there's not libertarians that are out there right now that are voting for anybody else besides Trump. Because our forefathers are just frowning on you. You're an idiot. Sorry, but let's just. I mean, people that have voted already, maybe, but I get it. But today, I don't see how you do that. Our forefathers had to learn to compromise. There's never agreed on everything, but you can't let the entire last administration be a complete representation of what's going on forward. So there is only one choice to make this year.
Yet I know several libertarians, that I like them. I respect them to various degrees. Some I'm pretty close with, and some I'm casual acquaintances with, you know. Blake, I've had at least three. One friend since back in high school, one that I would say I'm very close with, and one that I'm an acquaintance with. All three voting libertarian because Trump isn't perfect. As if Chase Oliver is a perfect candidate. Like, that's the logic. Well, Trump wasn't perfect, so I'm voting Oliver, who is way less perfect than the Trump. Well, you know, Trump said this. Trump didn't do that. Step back. Take 10 steps back and look at the top 100 issues. Are we directionally moving in the right direction or off? Blake, it's been really hard for me. These are votes that should be going to RFK, to Tulsi, to Vivek. And it's like they're wrapped up in TDS, or it's, well, the libertarians are perfect and pristine, and these are the ideals with which I wish government. That's a weird phrase to say. With which I wish government would exist upon. Use these principles and guide us with your superior libertarian intellect. It doesn't exist. They don't get elected. But the one guy said, if you vote for me, I promise I will put libertarians on my cabinet. And by the way, they're part of the Avengers team. They're part of the Donald Trump pirate ship right now. But even Ron Paul Elon Musk, Vivek Ramaswamy, these Nicole Shanahan, RFK Jr., these voices are not libertarian enough to match the purity test. It's really tested me because like I'm feeling the urge to lash out, and I'm trying real hard. I'm trying real hard, Ringo. I'm trying real hard.
No, it makes no sense. And they should know, history and the forefathers and how this country came together, and the constitutional conventions. Like, not all, when you had the 13 colonies, not all of them agreed on all of the issues, but at some point they had to say, hey, I might not like this, but we have to side together, because it's either we stand together or the colonies are going to get reabsorbed back into the British Empire, and we just fought a war to win our freedom back. But these guys just don't seem to get it, and they are worse than leftists voting for Kamala, because the libertarians know better. So let's hope they don't make that mistake, because you guys don't deserve this country if you're going to go out and fucking vote for Chase Oliver. Seriously.
Yeah, man, that's a tough way to say that, but I think it's kind of fair, and I think it needs to be said. And yeah, let me give you this part. How about this? I just used that phrase, and I just want to give you the whole line. Ezekiel 25:17. The path of the righteous man is beset on all sides by the inequities of the selfish and the tyranny of evil men. Blessed is he who in the name of charity and goodwill shepherds the weak through the valley of darkness, for he is truly his brother's keeper and the finder of lost children. And I will strike down upon thee with great vengeance and furious anger those who attempt to poison and destroy my brothers. And you will know my name is the Lord when I lay my vengeance upon you. I've been saying that shit for years, and if you heard it, it meant your ass. I never really questioned what it meant. I thought it was just a cold-blooded thing to say to a motherfucker before you popped a cap in his ass. But I saw some shit this morning, made me think twice. Now I'm thinking it could mean you're the evil man, and I'm the righteous man. And Mr. 45 here, he's the shepherd protecting my righteous ass in the valley of darkness. Or it could be that you're the righteous man, and I am the shepherd, and it's the world that's evil and selfish. I'd like that. But that shit ain't the truth. The truth is, you're the weak, and I'm the tyranny of evil men. But I'm trying, Ringo. I'm trying real hard to be the shepherd. That's Jules Winfield, Samuel L. Jackson in Pulp Fiction. I'm trying real hard, Ringo. Blake, I am trying real hard to understand how people can take this opportunity to punish the previous administration for all of their crimes, misdeeds, the framing attempts, the assassination attempts, the multiple foreign wars, the money laundering to the tune of multiple trillions of dollars, the importation of non-vetted non-Americans who are being prioritized over us, while we continue to be poisoned in the air, in the water, and our food supply. I don't know how somebody could see that as clearly as it is, and to look at the super team of people that Trump has assembled on the MAGA unity movement and vote against it. I'm trying real hard to understand where someone's coming from, but Blake, I don't get it. I don't get it. Jane, okay, I guess everybody's asking the same question. What time are you going on with Mike tonight, says Jane Meyer. Also, Rick Norman says, hey, Brian, are you going on with Barra tonight? I am tonight. It's a special show. And I'll also have Mike on Thursday for 5 p.m. We're doing a special strictly football show where we cover 5 o'clock Eastern. We go live and we just talk about football because, people should talk, not just always about politics. We're human outside of politics too. Blake, I believe that's going to be 7 p.m. Is that accurate?
Yeah, right? An hour earlier than our normal time and goes till whenever, until we're all passed out.
Okay. Just one final point on Elon. Go through our Twitter feed. I'm not going to show you some of the stuff, but there are some stories that Elon is hinting toward justice is coming. Some really vile people doing subhuman, inhuman, non-human things. And Elon's going there. So guys, we could be on the precipice of a completely new path if this goes the way that it should. I'm not going to allow myself to get excited in this moment. I am feeling optimistic. I'm also feeling like I just keep holding my breath all day. Like and I don't realize I'm doing it until I try to loosen up my muscle. I'm like, oh my God, I'm tight like this. I'm not concerned about the people, the misguided people who might vote against the MAGA movement. I am concerned about the people who are claiming they are counting it accurately. And but Blake, just on a global scale here, just in a generalized way, does it feel like the Republicans are doing a good job of fighting voter fraud in 2024? Would you agree or disagree? Between James O'Keefe and his new O'Keefe Media Group being everywhere, and Steven Crowder has his undercover team everywhere. It's just, there are enough. It feels like there's a totally different game being played. And there's a chance that they're going to get caught. They're going to try something stupid and they're going to get nailed. They're going to get absolutely nailed for treason. What say you?
Well, I certainly hope so. I hope it's clean. There's no cheating. It's all transparent, and Trump wins in a landslide. But if there's some shenanigans and weird shit again, I mean, they got away with a lot of stuff, even though they were caught red-handed on a number of different things, and they still didn't, it was never brought up in court where they got to, see all of the evidence and let us decide. And there were a lot of hearings. There were hearings in Georgia and Maricopa, and then they had the cyber ninjas, and they had 7,000, sworn affidavits in Michigan, and they had all kinds of weird shit going on in Wisconsin, and they had one of their Supreme Court justices, Gableman, go out and check into everything. I mean, there was all kinds of issues. But I mean, we can't count on like legacy media to, give us the truth. So no, I'm worried about a repeat of what we saw last time, and there's nobody in authority that's actually going to do something about it. So I don't know. I couldn't tell you what's going on behind the scenes. I hope they seem like they've caught a lot of stuff already, but what's going to be done with it? So I don't know. That should be the entire effort of everything should be to going to preventing from any of these issues from happening in the first place. But again, it's a state by state issue, and some of these states are intent on doing it their own way. And I expect those states to, stay blue, and we'll see. So hopefully they'll catch something. I mean, if they cheat, they'll catch it, and people will realize, oh my God, they're right. Yeah, the Democrats have been cheating, but we won't know yet, and it could take days, weeks, months to play out. I don't know. We can't afford that last time, and we can't let them get away with it unless it's absolutely just cut and dry. Here it is. There's the results. Sorry, that would be fine. I can accept bad results. But I can't accept, you're going to force me to accept bad results without any oversight or showing me the proof of work. You can't don't tell me I'm wrong on the test. If it's a math test and, then show me where I messed up. But don't say, oh, you're wrong. And there you go. Sorry, we're not going to show you. That's BS.
Yeah, but you know what? That's the story of social media. That's the story of how censored Meta has been toward the new American media. We can't go live on Instagram. No reason. They say that we repeatedly post. People try to follow us. Are you sure you want to follow them? They repeatedly post. They hate us. And they don't really give you a reason. They don't really explain it. Dreamer saying Elon has receipts, and he's so ready to see them. Pied Piper saying New Hampshire libertarians endorsed Trump last night. I wish more of them would. And then you work with them and you team up, because there's a lot of overlap. You can move the steering wheel and drag things directionally closer to the utopia you want. Or you can just sit this one out while the Democrats take us off the cliff. I mean, this isn't a choice, Blake. This is not, these are serious people, but they're not serious decisions, who are voting Chase Oliver instead of joining the chance to grab the wheel before we are just Thelma and Louise right into the Grand Canyon. It's a collision course with destruction. But they're not perfect enough, so I will go with Chase Oliver. Olivier, maybe. Chase Olivier. The perfect candidate. He is perfect man, perfect human. Christ incarnate, perhaps. Chase Olivier. He gets my vote. He'll fix things in 2024. Oh, he has zero chance of winning, you say? What? So that means he can't do a damned thing to help America. Given this new information, I think I will still vote for Chase Olivier. I love you, Chase. Mwah, mwah. Sir? Yes. You're looking at a reflection of yourself in the mirror. Oh, I know. I'm in love with myself and my ideals that are way better than yours. I just don't know what to do about it, Blake. I'm trying to be nice and I can't be nice about this.
The end of our civilization. Not with a bang, but with a whimper, and these little principled libertarians. So,
all right. Well, look, it's finally over. We're gonna take a brief respite, and we'll be back at 7:00 Eastern time. Follow us, the New American Media YouTube channel and the X feed at American_Media_ will carry the show live, Toxically Masculine Tuesday with Mike Barra and Dr. Brooks Agnew and Trail Boss Steve Doran. Yes, that's the one. So yeah, we'll be live at 7, and I hope you guys join us. Oh, there it is, Blake. Thank you. I needed to, yes, hang on. We'll full screen this.
I touched it up a little bit, but I'll do a second version of it. Yeah, as I had to cover up the microphone for Kamala, so I put a strawberry daiquiri in there. But
I love how my hair looks so froey. It's just kind of how it was cropped out. My hair looks weird. I mean, your hair looks weird. You look like
we're both red. Like we're in bars.
Yeah, this was from Chicago at the DNC, day one. Yeah, Blake looks like he's in Big Lebowski. I don't know what my hair's doing a thing over there. It's kind of fun though. Yeah. All right. No, that's awesome. Did you say you updated it again, or you're just saying you created that one? Because am I going to upload the right one that I already downloaded?
I could send you a new one. I just made a few cosmetic changes and kind of brightened it up a little bit. So anyway.
All right. Yes. Send me that via the usual channel. Once again, please check out the project that we made, the documentary about North Carolina. Blake and I went down to see Grizzly in Southern Virginia through Tennessee into North Carolina to tour the damage. So we made a documentary called Hurricane Helene, Help on the Way. Find it on YouTube, the New American Media, all of the places. Make sure you're following Blake. He's at TV's Blake Walley. Blake, have you gotten in any flame wars on X lately? Are you a more refined version of yourself? Are you a more coaster as opposed to an agitator? Blake was a master troll. He's had various versions of his online presence over the years that have followed him like a ghost, followed him like a scent, followed him like a bad idea, followed him, I tell you, like a shadow of a shadow.
Yeah, they rarely engage. I usually I go after people. I think they know, a lot of them, that they're out of their league. And so, but that's where I enjoy kind of, catching them off guard or calling them out on their BS. But no, they usually don't fight back like they used to. It used to be one of my favorite pastimes, especially like 2012, like during up to 2016. That was like my favorite thing to do, was just like roast these crazy leftists or neocons on Twitter. And got blocked a lot and had a lot of fun. At their expense.
Anyway, he's maybe a little bit less of that version of himself these days, but
they hide that stuff and they cheat, so I don't get my comments. They don't even show. I've had too many people block me, so I don't have as many people to play with. There's a few different things, but and they've changed the algorithms a bit, but it's still fun.
It is. Make sure you're following Blake at TV's Blake Walley. Rick Norman said he's seen the documentary Hurricane Helene, Help on the Way, and it's a good piece of journalism. Thank you. Trying to document what's going on and let you know. Christine Hellwig is saying the fraud has begun. Oh no, where, why, what, how? Film it. Stop it.
Christian, yes.
Catch them.
We will check that out. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of it. Yes, on Toxically Masculine Tuesday in about 4 hours. and I'm sure we'll cover all of that, all of the shenanigans. Pennsylvania is going to be a shit show all night, so that's going to be a big one.
Okay.
But yeah, thanks, guys. It'll be great. Great to have you here. And
There's another quote. Let me bookend this, Blake, with Quentin Tarantino from Pulp Fiction again. This is a scene. Vincent Vega is talking to. I don't know if I want to play it. Oh, geez. Stop this. What is happening? All right. Wow. My screen is doing this thing again. Anyway, there's a scene in Pulp Fiction where he says he's talking about his car. He had a classic car and he brought it out. And wouldn't you know it, the first day I had it out, some ridiculous piece of shit keys it. Oh, keys all over the side of it. He goes, it would have been worth him doing it just to catch him doing it.
Yeah, we got Stephen Richer and Katie Hobbs and Jocelyn Benson, and there's Brad Raffensperger. I mean, there's a lot of people that should have been caught, and there was red-handed. Okay, but nothing happened.
But in this case, it would be worth.
We keyed the car in front of you, and they were on camera, and we saw it, and still nothing was done. You saw 2,000 mules. You saw people keying cars on camera all over the country. Nothing happened. So it was the most safe and secure election ever. So yeah, that would be great if that actually happened and they were held accountable.
This time around, what if they try to do the same shenanigans and they're all busted?
Look,
and they're all brought up in front of a military tribunal on pay-per-view, and they all receive their justice after a fair trial for treason.
That would be, it'd be acceptable. Did you see that exchange with Hugh Hewitt with Jonathan Capehart on Washington Post? That was one of those exact type of things. Like, yeah, they're totally full of shit, putting out bad information, and nobody calls them out on it. So
actually, let me play that on the way out. If you got to go, Blake, you can go. You pulled up the Capehart thing, and that was good. I've interviewed. Oh, let me switch the screen to this tab instead.
Leftists will never concede that they, were caught in some bullshit. That they got to hold that con game, that hold that narrative that they're never wrong. There is no voter fraud. Everything's great.
So here you go. This is a great exchange.
This week, Donald Trump is laying the groundwork for contesting the election by complaining that cheating was taking place in Pennsylvania.
That cheating was taking place. Cheating. Yeah. In the air quotes.
By suing Bucks County for alleged irregularities. And this is on top of his continual assertion that if he loses, it's because of cheating.
Yeah, that's what he's been laying the groundwork.
That sounds like a kindergarten response. Yeah, that's exactly.
Yeah, that's what he's been laying the groundwork for this, just not in the last week, but in the last months. No election can be fair unless in Donald Trump's mind, unless Donald Trump wins it.
Such a weird way to phrase this.
And I think we are going to see him both rev up his supporters to contest elections outside of courtrooms and go to every courtroom he can in America where it's relevant to make whatever arguments he can, no matter how far-fetched. We saw that work out last time, but it didn't work out this time. It may not work. That may not happen this time. And now I'll let you go, Hugh.
Well, I've just got to say, we're news people, even though we're at the opinion section. It's got to be reported. Bucks County was reversed by the court and instructed to open up extra days because they violated the law and told people to go.
All right, so look how disinterested he is here, Blake. And any thought on the Bucks County case where that was reversed because fraud was encountered, fraud was pointed out, and it was reversed in real time because Trump was right? Right? That's the takeaway here. But this guy could not be any less interested.
Well, no, because they've got everything hinges on the fact that they're never wrong, that they're the authority, that's where you get your news. They're the Washington Post. So they can't admit anything. Otherwise, the whole con unravels.
Christian Hellwig, you never mess with another man's car. Exactly. I got to watch Pulp Fiction. You know what? I might retreat into something comfortable. If I need to like get a few hours away from staring at a screen tonight, I might just watch Pulp Fiction. I love that movie. It's very comforting to me. Thank you for that. You never mess with another man's car. And Jane Meyer saying Hewitt was on fire during this. Yes, he was. He continues. Look at how disinterested. Now they're going to cut away from him. And when they come back, look at him with his pen. His pen will be drawing a line and pretending to be writing as he couldn't be bothered to listen to what Hugh has to say. It is the most condescending shit you've ever seen. But once again, I am completely obsessed with body language and these types of things. But here you go. Hugh continues.
So that lawsuit was brought by the Republican National Committee, and it was successful. The Supreme Court ruled that Glenn Youngkin was successful.
Yep.
We are news people, even though we have opinions, and we have to report the whole story if we bring up part of the story. So yes, he's upset about Bucks County, but he was right, and he won in court. That's the story.
Oh, here. Oh, dip, 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 dip.
I'll let you keep going, Jonathan.
I can't be bothered. Did you notice that the first time, Blake? He's just he's not writing anything.
I'll let you keep going, Jonathan.
On a big circle.
No, I don't appreciate being lectured about reporting when Hugh, many times you come here saying lots of things that aren't.
I won't
based
come
in
back,
fact.
Jonathan.
Good.
But
I won't come back.
I'm done. This is the most unfair election ad I have ever been a part of. You guys are working. That's fine. I'm done.
Peace out.
So, Ruth, you wrote a column this week.
So, Ruth, you wrote a column this week. Care to gossip? Girl, tell me about that gossip.
Yeah. Maybe that's what Jonathan Capehart. Maybe he should go work for TMZ or something. He's not a respectable journalist.
No, it's pretty ridiculous.
This line and
continues
actually,
just trying to power through.
We're going to put it on the screen. You wrote,
"This is a
you want to know the stakes of
hilarious
this election? Not only democracy,
Who's gone?
but decency."
Decency.
Talk more about that, Ruth.
Okay, I'm collecting myself.
And then it freezes.
Oh, Ruth froze. Ruth is frozen.
This is so cringe.
So hang in there, everyone.
We'll hang in
see
there.
If we can
John
try to get
Capehart.
Ruth back to this very.
Wow, Blake. I mean, this is the cringiest shit since Kamala last opened her mouth.
Yeah, it's up there. Yeah,
Maybe there's not a question involved. Right?
I don't know. You got to work for another outlet. He's clearly biased.
Yeah,
it's too bad.
Dreamer saying, "Good for Hugh Hewitt. He was treated so badly by those two." Exactly. Yeah, go back on the YouTube channel.
He would have stayed, but that's all right. I get it. It's just he's being set up there and being run over with bullshit. So.
Look, at some point you need to make a stand. You got to leave. You need to stop associating yourself with the wrong groups of people. I mean, Tulsi, RFK Jr., Nicole Shanahan, Rogan. Like, there's so many people that have never considered Republicanism or MAGAism, conservatism, libertarianism. They've left the toxic party of the Democrat. You guys need to do it as well. Get out and vote today. We'll be back at 7:00 Eastern for our program, Toxically Masculine Tuesday. Find it on the YouTube channel and on X. Blake, any final words? Any final words here? I can't ask you the question of the day because that's a little unfair since we know you remember the question of the day that we had?
All I know is that everybody needs to go out there and vote. If you haven't, do it.
I like it. If you haven't done it, go out there, do it. Yo-Yo Ma. Oh, there's Kenneth right as we're ready to wrap today's broadcast up. Glad you could make an appearance with Yo-Yo Ma. Thank you so much. What is this?
Christian brings up the Georgia's secretary. Yeah, Raffensperger, who I just mentioned. Now they're already going to play this BS. So if Trump wins, we know it's cheating. If the Democrats win, they're going to say it's Russia cheating.
That's hilarious. They're still doing pin the tail on Russia here. Georgia it's like a conquered state. They've been conquered, and they're just up to shenanigans every time.
A.C. Abrams, Brad Raffensperger. Yeah, it's bad news.
Goodness. All right. Well, we'll keep our eyes peeled on that story and more, but we'll be back at 7:00 Eastern on Toxically Masculine Tuesday for the 2024 election special. Blake Walley, Brian Engelman signing out. Appreciate you. Love you. We'll talk to you again soon. Take care, everyone. Peace.
Thank you.
Go Trump. Vote, vote, vote. Fight, fight, fight. Win, win, win.